What's going on, people? Before I get started, I want you guys to check out my merchandise. Click on the link, or better yet, go to that website, Fearless Wear Online, and check out some of the merch that I have, some merchandise that I have on there, sweatshirts, t-shirts, things of that nature, mugs, a host of things. So support the podcast, man. Go check out what I have on my website. Or if you choose not to buy anything from the website, click on the Cash App and the Venmo and the, Chime and donate to the brother, right? But I want to briefly comment on all of this mess that's going on with Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. What is this really about? This can't be about them questioning, because Kyrie Irving, the only thing he tweeted was a movie from Hebrews to Negroes. And yet he's being canceled. He's being suspended from playing a game. So why is it that they are so outraged about this? Because the so-called Hebrew Israelites have always been preaching this message. And it did not take flight until Kanye West spoke out against it. And I'm still trying to figure out, how is it anti-Semitic for him to call Jews to the table, or so-called Jews to the table? How is that anti-Semitic? He didn't speak anything anti against the Jews or against the Jewish people, because he himself is a Hebrew by birthright. Kyrie Irving is a Hebrew by birthright. If you think back on Whoopi Goldberg, Nick Cannon, now Kanye West and Kyrie Irving, Whoopi Goldberg identifies as a Jew. And yet when she said that the Jewish people were white, they made her apologize. And I have an issue with the so-called Black Americans apologizing. What do you need to apologize for? I mean, your ancestors were brought to this land against their will. They were stripped of their name, their culture, their nationality, family, even the right to be a human. And now that you're starting to discover yourself and question things that are written in the scriptures, in the Torah, you now become anti-Semitic. That word anti-Semitic is used or weaponized against Black Americans, against the people that traded places with you. Now, you have people like Michael Rappaport, and I already spoke on my thoughts and ideals of Michael Rappaport. He's a racist. He's a racist. If you go back to the movie Higher Learning and see the role he played that role really well, because that is him. That is who he is. Whoopi Goldberg did not lie when she referred to them as white Jewish people, but yet she was made to apologize. Nick Cannon was made to apologize. Kanye West was forced to apologize. Kyrie Irving apologized. And even after he apologized, they still stripped him. So what's the purpose of even apologizing? Why do you need to apologize for being who you are? That is your birthright. You see this flag in back of me, or better yet, this map? Negro land? Look it up. Google it. See, this is why the slave master did not want you to read. They don't want you to read. Because once you start reading, you start learning and discovering. Of course, you may bump your head a couple of times, make a couple of mistakes, make false claims like you're Moors or you're Africans or you're this or that. But once you start discovering who you are, the people that stole your identity become uncomfortable. So now they have to say that you are anti-Semitic and force you to apologize while stripping you. What is anti-Semitic? What is Semitic? According to the dictionary, and I've mentioned this in a prior video, but being Semitic is relating to or denoting a family of language that includes Hebrew, Arabic, Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. Afro-Asiatic family. At one point in time, when I was coming up, the so-called Black Americans weren't called Black. They were identified after hairstyle. Afro-Americans. Afro-Americans. So now you are considered the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. That's you. So if you are the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family and the so-called Black Americans are the only ones. See, Africans could come here from the continent and say they Black. Oh, we Black. Now everybody wants to be Black. But everybody can't say that they are or were considered Afro-Asiatic. No one but the so-called Black Americans. They was referred to as Afro-Americans. Now it's Black people. And I have a problem with being referred to as Black because my complexion, as you see, is brown. And what a lot of people don't realize is that black and white has nothing to do with color. But it has everything to do with status, because there are Africans darker than I am that come from the continent that's classified as white, although they're darker than I am. So color, the black and white, has nothing to do with your skin color, because the so-called white people are not white, and the so-called black people, your complexion is not black. And you can't seem to understand that, but you fight to keep that title or that label. And as long as you remain black, you're going to remain in the dark. You're going to remain under that curse. So black and white has nothing to do with color. It has everything to do with status. But my question is, how is Whoopi Goldberg, Nick Cannon, Kanye West, and Kyrie Irving, how are they anti-Semitic when they themselves are Semitic? It makes no sense to me. So feedback, tell me what you think. Until next time, I'm fearless.